Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So, start of the board today. So if you haven't already seen the last episode that came out on Sunday, we've got all the Scuttle fitted. Big part of this car. We've got the bulkhead done, Scuttle done, and we're really pushing forward now to get the front end on and make this car like a Mini again. So, but what I have neglected to show you guys is obviously we have our to-do list and bits and pieces like that, and it's quite exciting to be able to tick some bits and pieces off. So obviously you guys are a bit further away, but I'll bring you forward now and we'll have a proper look at it, and we can actually get some stuff ticked off this car, and it keeps pushing you along. Also go update my little parts list and bits and pieces, stuff we haven't got, and yeah, we are actually, it's quite nice to walk in the garage actually and go, oh wow, and pick quite a bit, tick, you know, get what we're working. There's like 3 or 4 things really on there, panel wise, to do. So yeah, let's get cracking. Right, so to do on the 89 build, we've got door bins ticked, quarter panels. Now we haven't ticked both of them yet because I've repaired the driver's one, and we actually have just got our new right hand quarter panel, so can't tick them off yet. Boot floor's finished, fuel tank bracket, it is sat here, and it's something I kind of should just get on with and get done. But that would be a really quick one to knock off. Rear valance and closers, like mentioned in the previous episode, we're going to get car back on rotisserie split, we're going to do them then. Bulkhead repairs, let's tick that. Scuttle, let's tick that. Scuttle closers, that's in today's episode. Clean back wings and do the repairs basically. So let's put plus repairs, plus repairs. And once we've done, so these two were achieved in this episode, and it just leaves front end panels. So once there we've got front end panels, valance, fuel tank bracket and quarters. So that's 4 things left panel wise to get cracking on this car. Parts wise, we've got the back panel bought and ticked, back closers bought and ticked, the Scuttle A panels, 2 wings, front panel, and I will put quarter on there, that's ticked. Obviously, unlike the budget clubman, we're not actually like keeping tabs of the spends on this car. We have got our own like diary and stuff like that, but it isn't really about that with this build. It's all about getting the panels on the car and getting it as nice as possibly can. So yeah, that lots of welding will hopefully turn to lots of prep over the next coming months. Yeah, let's get the closers on today. It's today's episode, and then chop the bottom of the inner wings off, get them sorted. Then off camera, I'll strip the subframe, and in the next episode, we will get the front end mocked up. It won't go on; it never does go straight on, but we can at least start making headrows to get it sorted. So I'll go and get you set up in a time lapse, and well, let's get these. You know what it's going to be. You know it's going to be loads of cavity painting. So let's get these Scuttle closers ready to rock and roll, and let's get them on because it's a big part of this car done, and then we can get the front panels on. Catch you in a bit. Right, so these are the Scuttle closers. Again, genuine heritage. So I'll just zoom in on them part numbers for you if you guys need it. That's 14A as well, and it's just 4948 on the end. So obviously we'll get them stickers off, but these already fit really well. Yeah, good bit solid steel again, so not too much prep to do on these, but you know what's going to come. So we're going to get rid of these stickers, just double check they fit okay, mark off on the car where they're going to go up to, so I can clean back the flitch panel, so I can basically I stitch weld them along that lip. You can drill and plug weld them, but for me I think it's just easier to stitch weld them, it's a nicer join. But obviously we're going to cavity paint that, so we're going to get the stickers off, I'm going to mark them on the car so I don't have to keep scratching them and moving them around. And then we'll get them all prepped up and go on. This shouldn't take too long to do this job, and then we'll crack on with the inner wings. Also to note, we've got a little kind of metal fab drawer, so I've got my grinders, my safety gear, drills, DA, Dremel, stuff like that on the bottom. Then we've got all our clamps, discs and bits and pieces in there, various files, pliers, our frost door trimming tool, you know, hole punches and snips and stuff. And then we've got all our hammer and dollies, some magnets and bits and pieces like that, chisels and picks and measuring equipment. So it's all in one place now. So I got really annoyed in the last episode, just quickly cover this, I kept dropping things and losing stuff and trying to take a nice picture for the Instagram and for you guys as a thumbnail. There's all tools all over the floor, and I just want to take things to a nicer level. So now we've got that, I can wheel that down my driveway. I've got all my fab gear, all my bits and pieces that I can add to now, but it's all in one place. I can just wheel that down the driveway with the welder. So I'm hoping you guys approve of that. I don't know if you find me quite a messy YouTuber, I'm not sure, but I personally want to be tidier, so I'm hoping that's going to please some of you guys, but it definitely pleases me knowing I've freed up some drawers in my roll cab as well, because it's only a small roll cab, and all my metal stuff, which basically I prefer doing all this kind of work anyway, is all in one nice box with a Simpsons Classics branded sticker on, which will be available for sale very soon. We are working on merch, me and Miss Simpson. So yeah, shut up now, Mark. We're going to crack on. We're going to get these prepped. Right, so what I've done there is, you can see I've just kind of done a faint line. So what I'll do is I'll clean back all this metal here and obviously paint within that line. So I'll mask off where I've done there, paint also, obviously the inner side of this is already nice shiny paint, as you can see. So obviously I want this top face, the bit that's going up inside there, to be all painted as well. And then obviously this side will get primed and painted after. But for the purposes of getting that welded in, I now know where it's going. I can now prep, obviously, or technically I've already prepped all that, but I can now mask off my lines. I know where my panel's going to, clean all this back to bare steel for nice stitch welds, and then we can shove all that back, nice paint, and then block all this off. And it's a big part done then, so 2 more panels on the car. Let's get going. So you can obviously see already the whole top of there is already painted. Yeah, I mean, hopefully that's well protected. So obviously painted where I'm not going to get to now. So I'm really happy with that. I've done the same on both sides. So as you can see, all nicely and painted in that cavity. The masking tape line is basically where I'm going to clean back to fit the panel. And over here on my makeshift little spray table, we have got in-zinc primer, the tops of the closers, which will now obviously get the red treatment on top of that as well. So basically everything that's trapped inside these cavities is going to be painted. So there is obviously that thought that some of it burns, but I am welding a lip along there. So where that line is, basically I'm welding a bit below that. So in theory I shouldn't get it that hot, do short bursts, but yeah, fingers crossed we can get it keeping like that. And I know forever that it's like that inside. It's that peace of mind for me. So I do kind of appreciate that this is a lot of prep. Not everyone really does this, but I want to know if the car stands the test of time with doing this, because none of this was done by factory. And ever since I've started this channel, a lot of people have started doing cavity painting and stuff like that. I'm not saying I'm the first person to have done it. I picked it up off a forum, but I've just always thought, wow, that's like let's do the best we can at the end of the day. So yeah, gotta wait for some paint to dry, basically. Panels fit mint, so I haven't got to worry about that. Yeah, wait for some paint to dry. I'll get some clear coat up in there as well, so I won't film doing that, but I'll throw some clear coat up in there so I know everything's sealed off nicely. Everything's welded up there, everything's done. And then we'll get some red paint on those again, like I said, and some clear. And then obviously the underside of it are clean back to weld, so I'll probably clean them back before I do the top coat, just to make sure it's all clean, some bare metal, and then yeah, onwards and upwards. Right guys, so not the best of footage. I can't really get the camera anywhere closer without damaging my camera completely. My torch is running out of battery as well. Good start. So yeah, basically I've just done a couple of stitches and a couple of stitches on the top. We get seam seal, but the idea is that it traps it in, and then you weld. There's 2 tabs that you weld, or 2 original spot welds that are done under the factory. Obviously I'll do it when the car's on a rotisserie spit. I'll weld the top of the wings into there. Basically the wing will sit on top of here, which is why I've ground that back now so it's flat. There is many ways of doing these. Plug weld it all the way around, that's fine, but I'll be honest, it doesn't have to look pretty. You're never going to see these welds ever again once your seam sealer all over it, and I prefer to have it nice and strong. It adds a lot of rigidity to this corner. So yeah, I'm going to crack on to the other side. I'm not going to film it, it's just going to be a bit boring, and then we'll crack on and get these inner wings done, because these shouldn't take too long to put in. So yeah, it's all nice and flush all the way along there. Yeah, it's all nice and flush and all the way along there. It's nice. So I'll get all these cleaned up. So just 4 or 5 stitch welds, and yeah, nice and solid, and it's all painted inside, which I'm really happy with. You still can see it. You can kind of see it all in there. Look, all lovely. Right, so I didn't film too much of that. Obviously, film this side as much as I can. I can't get in too close. I'm going to damage my camera. But what we have got is it's all painted. It's all like just literally a couple of stitches there, stitched all the way around there. Like you said, all cavity painted, all rock solid, all nice and protected. So that's that side done. This side is a nice little bit cleaner as well. So yeah, that's that kind of point of call. On to the next job. Less jibber jabber, let's get working. So this wing, you can see I've tidied it back already. You can see where the old tab used to be, and on the inside you can see, because there'll be a 3rd front end this car's had, you can see where they've actually just welded over that. So what I'm going to do is, like I did in the MPI, just cut squares out the front, replace this metal. This side's a lot worse, and you can still see what I mean by the tab. That's still in place. And yeah, the wing needs a bit of a clean up. And obviously, again, you can see kind of where the tabs were. I don't want to put a nice, really quite expensive front end on this car and weld to that rubbish, really. It was so much easier on the MPI. It's just basic flat steel, and obviously you manipulate the shape of it as you're welding it in, with a folded tab on the front there. And it just meets with the front panel. So as long as it comes out no further than there and I can fold that tab back round, I did it okay on that car. So what we're going to do is we're going to crack on and get that done, get them cut off, find some steel, and we'll get welding in. It's quite amazing how much undersill is actually on this car, because look at how shiny the actual original paint is underneath. So what I'm going to do is get rid of obviously all this undersill, and we'll start stripping this off camera. I won't do this on camera, unless you guys in the comment do say you want me to, but it literally is quite self-explanatory. Haynes manual will show you how to do this. I just need the bare subframe so I can crack on. But once I've got these on, we are kind of gung-ho to do it. The first point of call will be to fit the A panels. A panels, get the nice door gaps, and then build forward. That's always kind of the way I like to do it. On the MPI, because it was a mixture of pattern and heritage panels, I did do it all in one go. So I fitted the front end as much best as I could, and then tacked and welded the A panels in, and then put the front end in. That was purely because of the quality of the panels is slightly different. This might not be, might have to do this the same way, we're not sure yet, but aim of the game is repair these in this episode, and then next episode we'll get the A panels on. Episode after that, hopefully, we can play with the front end and make it look like a car again. So I'm going to get some steel out, I'm going to get some pens out and start marking some repair panels. Right, so as you can see, I've just cut out a square basically. So this is the one from that side. So on the back you can see I've already started to clean it back and then kind of gave up when I realised how bad it was. And you can see, this was done a couple of years back when I first got the front end off, and it's already started to rust. But you can just see quite how bad that is, and you could sit there all day grinding that and cleaning that, and all you're going to do is make the metal thinner, and you're never going to get the rust out. Obviously, sat where it is, it's a proper water trap, so it needs to be cut out. The other side, I'd say, is a lot worse. It's obviously I didn't even bother cutting the tab off when I realised how bad the other side was. I kind of gave up. So it's had a few front ends, this car. This is the third front end that we know of without Scuttle on it. So let's just give it the best chance it can and replace the metal that obviously we're going to put the new tabs for the new front end onto. In true Simpsons Classics form, I've got a bit of sheet steel here, and if you can remember what colour the Budget Clubman used to be, yeah. So this is a big centre cutout of the original rear quarter off the driver's side. I kept it, it's a good bit of steel, so I've measured it and I should be able to get both repair sections made off this by using the original ones as a template. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with that and get it all lined up, and then we'll get creating, shall we say. I wouldn't say I'm a fabricator, I'm a creator. I'm no expert at this, but yeah, practice a bit of welding there. We'll grind that off. But yeah, so basically this section should do one side, and then I've got plenty ample to do the rest of the bits and bats on it. So it's a nice bit of steel, all the original glue and crap all over it from where the sound denim was. So yeah, let's get on with this. Right, so it doesn't look much to you guys, it just looks like a blank bit of steel, but that now goes up in there nicely, and I've got enough hanging out the front to be able to fold the flange round that I need. So what I'll do is I'll start getting that tacked in, and then just hammer and dolly it the shape. I've got the basic curve, so you can see it's not straight. Got the basic curve as it flows out of the wing. But we'll get that going. Basically, it's quite simple. I haven't filmed making patches recently because I kind of, unless people ask me to, it's a lot easier than setting up a camera on a little table and bending metal and stuff like that. But basically, that's a flat bit of steel. Call that a flat square. You've made a flat square with the repair panel there, and then literally start tacking it in and making it fit. That is the best advice I could give you guys that are doing this. But this is really heavy. I mean, look at that. And this one's even worse, like the amount of layers of steel that have just been welded over welded. And I've done the same for this side, so I've cleaned back all the surfaces, and that one goes in there. So again, I've made it a bit of a flan, like a bit of a shape to follow the contour, but I'll start tacking it in and start going from there. So let me get you guys set up, hopefully a nicer angle for you guys to see, and let's get these big gaping holes in the wings sorted out. Right, so scuttle closers ticked, clean back and repair inner wings. So I haven't cleaned them back yet, but in YouTube world I have. So they'll get done kind of the next point of call. But literally it's a bit of wire wheeling and a bit of rust treatment on certain areas of it. Everything else has been replaced on them, so I'm going to call that a win. Better tick. So what have we got left to do? We have fuel tank bracket. Not too hard. Quarter panel, so I'm going to tick that when I've done both of them. But we have got the right hand quarter panel now. Rear valance and closers, that'll be the last job. Front end panels is next. So yeah, let's have a chat about that, shall we? Right, so I've just addressed it back a little bit, but there is the wings. I've trimmed back the excess there, and obviously I just need to fold a flange on it. If you look down there, that's all kind of following the contours, so I just literally did that fold to match the rest of that. Just did it in a vise. So again, just needs cleaning back, and the same again on that side. We've just put that square in. I'm not going to bother getting all primer on these because in YouTube world, like I say, I will get rid of all this surface rust. We'll get the fur tan out and clean all that up, and basically next episode we're ready to start playing with the A panels, and these inner wings will be boxed off and done. That's the plan. So yeah, pretty happy with that. So that gives this video a bit of an end point. I think it's quite a good place to end. So the next point of call will be sorting the A panels out off camera. I'll strip the front subframe like mentioned a few times. We'll get that. The only reason I'm stripping it basically is obviously we need to renew and paint everything, but also it's silly to have it fully built when all I need to do is use it to mock up. There's a few goodies and bits and pieces to aid me with that have arrived, and we'll run through them in the next episode. But yeah, we are at the point now where we can start playing with front end panels. I purely haven't trimmed anything back on the front because when I did it with the MPI build, panels aren't quite as they were. So once the subframe's bolted up and the front panel's back in, you might need a little more or a little less. I've definitely left it so I haven't got to deal with that. Got a bit of metal jabbed in my arm there. Is what it is. But yeah, so I've left them kind of raw a little bit, and then when I get the front panel in and I get the front panel sitting back level with the wings, then I can just put a bit of Sharpie on, fold and do my fold there, and then that'll meet the front panel. So that's why that's like that. So not quite a finished inner wing, but we're getting there, and we've got quite a few things ticked off. A couple more panels on the car, those are repaired. Yeah, we really are cooking on gas. The next big panel really to cut out of this car is the quarter panel, and that is the last panel to cut out of this car. Everything else is welded on, or it's cut off ready to rock and roll. So if you haven't already, please give the thumbs up. It really massively helps us get noticed in the YouTube algorithm. Obviously comment below, have you done inner wing repairs? I've done this on a number of cars and it's always worked really well. It seems silly to cut the inner wings off when you just don't need to. This car, nah. Could we have done inner wings? Yeah, we probably could have done. But like I said to you before, this whole bulkhead at the front is pretty much what's left of the car. So I've done all my repairs necessary. I did a repair very early on, I think before YouTube, on the bottom. Yeah, and I like repairing things. It's just who I am. So yeah, like I said, please give this video a thumbs up. Check out our sponsors in the link description below. Frost, got a big sticker there as well. We've got quite a few things planned, and I know I've mentioned that a few episodes, but we have to run through certain things to get to this point. But I am very excited. I had a meeting with them the other day, and yeah, I'm really quite excited by it. There's quite a lot coming, quite a lot of different things as well, which keep you kind of going. Without me sitting here and just bumbling on about a mini shell, it's going to be quite good. I know you guys enjoy a lot of this. If there's anything you want me to see to do on this car, just mention it down below and I'll try and do it. Obviously if I've done it already, then I'll do it on another project which is arriving very soon, but it's not a problem. I will cover as much as I possibly can. I am purely documenting this for my own needs, and if I can help you guys out, that is my main aim for doing my channel, is to help you guys. So look after yourselves. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. We have got loads of mini content and loads of restoration content coming. Obviously shows are starting soon, so we'll be out of them as well. So thank you very much for all your support, and yeah, catch you in the next one, guys, when hopefully there's quite a few exciting announcements coming. Very excited. Oh, I can't wait. Right, I'm gonna have a cup of tea and chill down, because I'm now off. I was off work for a week and I'm back into work, and yeah, I'm first being here. So yeah, look after yourselves, guys. See you later.